Hey guys, gonna be doing something a little different today. We are going to be co-commentating and observing the Old World multiplayer Duel tournament. This is FluffyBunny versus Auro, both very good players. This is the winners bracket. This is they've each won 2 games to get here, and this is one of the matches I've really been looking forward to. So looking forward to a pretty intense duel. It is Old World, so it'll take a little bit to get going on that. And I'll introduce Alcaras in a moment, who is co-casting with me. Or I guess rather, more accurately, I'm co-casting with him. And we'll walk through what's going on here in a second. All right. So, hey, Alcaras.
Hey there, how's it going?
Not too bad. How about yourself? How's the morning? It's early for you,
Pretty
right?
good. We're right and early, 8 a.m. Yeah, good
Yeah.
time for Old World.
When you asked me initially to cast this, I thought you were talking about the one prior to this, which would have been a 3 a.m. start for you, which
Yeah.
I thought was a lot for a weekend.
Yes. So,
So super
should be an
excited about
exciting
this
match.
match. Yeah, nice to see the winners bracket and the most advanced game, right? In terms, this is round 3 for them, right?
Yes, this is both players have won twice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, what do we know thus far? So it's going to be simultaneous for the first 5 or so.
Simulturns, I think, until they make contact with each other.
Okay.
Fluffy has picked Aksum.
It's interesting. He played this versus me recently. Intelligent, of course, because that needs a nerf. We'll talk about that in a minute, I'm sure. But Intelligent Judge. Haven't seen many Judge starts. That's exciting too. It's a timing push, right?
Yes, especially with Aksum, you can get unique units very quickly with 4 laws because they start with labor force. And if you go clerics, that'll give you another law with divine rule, and then you just need 2 more laws, and you can, especially judge, you can instantly upgrade your garrison into a stronghold and suddenly come up with unique units under turn 40, potentially
Yeah.
even around turn 30.
That's a pretty interesting strategy. And we're also seeing another, I think I'd call these dual strategies. I think a lot of I always think that for games, a lot of the actual like optimization of games really doesn't occur till you're seeing some competition level of that, be that multiplayer or
Absolutely.
like challenges, that kind of thing, right? So what I think we're starting to see is some of that coming out in this tournament, right? So Carthage, I think, I would consider them the strongest civ in duels, in my opinion. So I'll be curious to see how this plays out. Is it also I haven't looked yet. How do I switch? You said
It
control
is
click on their name.
alt click on the nations tab. Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
I want to look at the
It's a
leader
swift
on
tactician
this. Swift
with a horse
Tactician.
portrait.
Okay, different strategy then. This is a rush strategy. I mean,
Yes.
so Fluffy is looking like a timing push strategy. That's what this is. This is a unique unit at 4 laws timing push on Fluffy. But this is um, well, I guess there's 2 ways to do this. The Swift is what gives this away to me. If this were like an intelligent tactician, this might just be like cheap creeping, like investing in
Hmm.
economy. But this isn't. This is Swift. So this is find my opponent as soon as possible, use the stun to create a massive disparity in units. You know, if there's only 2 units on the board and one of them stunned for every round, that means if one person loses half their force, and try to take advantage of that. It's crazy because
Yeah,
look at
that's
this cap too. This is an amazing trader like econ
insane
start.
traders. Yeah. Both
Yeah.
both players went, or no, actually, Fluffy went patrons, not traders, which makes sense as well given the triple pearl, but that is also a longer term play.
Yeah, that's interesting. What are the Aksum families available? They have traders, right? Yeah.
They have traders. They have traders, patrons, champions, and clerics.
That is interesting to me that he chose patrons over traders here. I would really
I
like to
think
know
triple
why.
pearl. So if you look at the wonders in the list, we see 2 amazing wonders in the game, Heliopolis and Colosseum, which means if the game goes long, being first to legendary will be very valuable because he'll be able to grab those 2 wonders, especially Colosseum because there is a river. I don't actually see arid tiles anywhere near the capital. I guess there are some potentially you could expand borders towards.
I'm going to give you 2 excuses and ask for an answer. So my first excuse is it's early, and my second excuse is math on stream. So the question I want to ask is, what's the break point then? Because
2 precious
double,
resources.
well, but to beat the comparison is not from nothing. It's compared to traders who have double net yield, right?
Yep, it's
So
still 2 precious resources because it's a flat 25% for each precious resource. So that's plus, with 4 precious resources there, that's plus 100% culture from that city.
yeah, but the trader starts at 100% plus culture because all of the culture is coming out of these pearls, and the pearls are doubled, right?
Yes, just for the pearls though,
Mm-hmm.
not for anything else coming out of the culture, where
So
everything else gets double
I
gets doubled
continue to
with
ask the
4.
same question then, and I
Yeah.
know it's more than just the simple, like your initial takes are absolutely accurate, but they're not quite the question I'm getting at. I am
Okay.
curious with from these 2 starts with just the culture from the city. Let's forget Odeons or events and the rest of it. Which of
Hmm.
these which of these civs or which of these families gets there faster to legendary? The trader start here or the patron start here?
The patrons will get there faster.
Okay. So I would have to have thought through that a little bit because I think this double, the pearl double culture early is going to be quite impactful. And yes, the luxuries, the 50%, the percent multiplier is going to be great, but the flat early is also very good. So I don't know when that breakpoint would be. If you say patrons will be faster, I believe you. But
Usually the breakpoint from, at least from scientific tests in terms of trying to rush Colosseum, it usually is two precious resources where patrons take over, just because everything else scales. So like if you have a governor that gives inspiring and that gives base culture, that'll get scaled, whereas it won't get scaled for traders. So,
I
but
suppose I
obviously
should
rule
be
of
focusing
thumb,
a little bit on the early game. I suppose. Is there a way to
yeah,
disable fog for me entirely so I can flip back and forth without changing?
there is not, sadly.
Okay.
However, I guess it's worth pointing out this map as well. If we look at the northern isthmus, there are city sites kind of lined up in a row. And Carthage is already expanding that way, where Fluffy is expanding with Aksum to the south. So in theory, if Carthage settles each of these barb sites along the way, they will have sea movement right towards Aksum very, very quickly. So this game could be these players could collide very quickly.
Yeah, I wish here I'd been a little bit more on the ball about watching exactly the site. It's tough because as the observer you want to see everything, but at the same time I would like
Yes.
to have known the player site because by chance or by intent, I'm not sure. I know the Carthage player wants to meet Axum with just the swift tactician, right? But
Yes.
why did they choose north as the most likely way to do that? Was there early scout movement such that they saw the top of the map? Were they just paying attention to the tile location? Because for whatever reason, this is exactly where Auro wants to be with this strategy, right? As you say,
Yes, I mean, I think one thing to point out though, there aren't that many tribal units on the map for Carthage, so they don't have any. I think there's only one tribal site actually, the Scythian site, which they haven't scouted, and in fact, which is walled off from mountains. This entire internal part of the map is walled off from mountains.
hmm,
Um, so they're the only way to collide is through the top.
yeah,
So this is a
I wish
really
I'd been
interesting
watching that
map.
though, because if you look at like what Fluffy's doing, like down in the kind of peninsula area of
Yeah.
his side, if Oro had gone that way with his early scout or especially his military unit, like his whole rush strategy might have just been dead, right? There's no passage there. He wouldn't be able to make it
Yes.
across. So,
Yes, although it is a mirror map, so you do know where your opponent is. And
uh-huh.
generally, like if you're rushing, it's always a good idea to like scout and expand towards your opponent. That way, if
Sure,
that's the
but my
shortest
point
path,
is,
yes. He could have been wrong though, right?
yeah,
There could have been
exactly.
wall off there. So
Well,
you
no,
never
no,
know.
not the wall off. I'm not worried about that. I mean,
Mhm.
there's I'm not necessarily. I suppose if you're at the northern part and your opponent's at the northern part, you're more likely to find him by going to the north than to the south. I suppose that does make some just inherent sense from there. I just meant that for whatever reason, and it sounds like there's some logic involved with that too. This top portion has been a much quicker way to his opponent, and it could have been very different if he had just stepped down
Yep.
early. So I'm kind of curious what
Yeah, I
that
mean,
decision making was.
every map is different. So,
Yep.
but yeah, he's very much. I think to your point, that Swift gives away the rest strategy. He's already bought a barbarian from that first camp, and he's scouting directly towards Fluffy to see what the lay of the land looks like. And potentially, I'm expecting him to settle just right along the north and say hello very quickly. But there's only that one city site in the south from Fluffy. And like then Fluffy, I mean, it's a very small map. It's a dual wide continent with some really interesting layout because this entire middle section is basically walled off and also only has like the Scythians and the barbarians. There's only two city sites, lots of sort of wasted
Yeah.
terrain in the middle.
Yeah. And actually, the only access to that middle early is through the middle site that Carthage is at right
Yes.
now with his tactician,
Yep.
because that will bridge the. So that experiment, and until they scout, they won't know that. But that is essentially what, three free city sites, two free city
Two.
sites in there if you get the middle. So the middle is not worth one; it's worth three.
Yes.
It's very interesting until boats.
Yeah, and Carthage can expand faster than anyone else in
Yep.
the game. They can just buy barbs, and this is an amazing. Like I think they made the right choice with traders, just because it gives them so much income, especially from all those pearls. And you see, they're already improving the pearls even before getting a growth resource online.
Yep. Yep.
Interestingly, taking border boost from Carthage, despite only having, I guess it'll be two cities, so that'll be a very, very early border boost there. Fluffy getting divination, of course. Carthage starts with divination.
Yeah, Carthage is a very interesting civ in these duels. They start so strong. Aristocracy unlocked right at the beginning for that science boost with the culture to do it from the the civics to do it from just the settles is really nice. They have very strong starting families. There's nice synergies with the tribes and the expansion. It's just a really strong rushing civ. It's very difficult
Absolutely.
to slow that down.
Yes,
Surprised
I don't.
here, Tactician, not Schemer. No Schemers from either of them is wild to me.
Yes, I think Tactician's the stun is really, really powerful in small combat. Judge gives you that instant upgrade as well, especially pairs nicely with patrons because they get happiness from cultural event. So you can basically rush forever without any discontent issues in the seat. I think one thing that potentially may save Fluffy is he did go Aksum, which has champions, and champions will they get all their units start with steadfast, which means any barbarians that Carthage does buy will be as if like Fluffy will do 25% more damage with their champions family units towards them, and also be 25% more defensive.
Oro's been
The other
practicing
thing,
this though, like this strategy. It might happen literally before that champion city goes down, right? Like it's
yes, I mean he's doing some really interesting stuff here because he's like hopping through the forest with his tactician. So this is like some pretty serious tech. So the tacticians, of course, make all ranged units invisible if they're in forest. And indeed, he just force marched into another forest.
yeah.
He knows the exact layout of the map because he's been on the other side. It's mirrored. So he might come in and just, ooh, this.
This is what he did to me. He's been practicing this. He did this to me in a 1v1 as practice for the tournament. He said, I want to practice for the tournament. Are you okay with that? I said, sure. So we played a game. He did a square map as Carthage and did exact. I don't think he had Swift, so this may be a new modification to what he was playing with. At least I don't think he had Swift.
Wow.
But he's trying to stun the first unit. If he can stun the first unit literally before second unit's down on the board by crossing the map like this, well, the game ends.
Yep. I don't know if the game ends, but it's definitely going to put Fluffy far, far behind.
As
Yeah,
Carthage, he
so
can backfill because his barbarians with his
yes,
money can
yeah,
keep
yeah, yeah, yeah.
settling, and his main character just stops the other player from doing anything. He's gonna keep Fluffy on 2 cities, and Fluffy did exactly what
Yeah,
I did in this scenario, which is the first site that he's found is not a very good champion site, and it's way in the back, so he didn't place champion. He's now building a worker there, thinking he has more time, and now
yes, no,
this turn, if Auro gets the stun, Fluffy doesn't get his next city site till he gets 2 more units to chase that tactician off.
yep, and he can of course block the city site with the scout as well, and then start buying barbs and pouring them in. It's
Yep.
it's going to be ugly. Yeah, he didn't go champs,
And makes total sense
and
why he didn't, because you don't think you have to respond on your first unit. And
I
I'm
mean
a
it's going to
he's
be really it's going to be really awkward. And Aura was like, "Hey, can we switch to tight here?" Or they're already on tight. I think they did the first 5 tight. So yeah, we can swap back to Aura and see what he does.
yeah, watch it
This
now.
could be. He's looking for Fluffy's unit. He doesn't see it yet. Oh, he didn't quite see it with the scout move. He ran out of orders. So maybe next turn.
And Fluffy's in a
He's
better
trying to
spot than
find.
I was when Oral found me in our match like this. I was engaged with a barb camp, and he got the
Oh
stun on my
no.
unit. Here, at least, Fluffy is not currently being attacked by barbs because he's moving for the clear city site.
Yes.
I think I'm.
But
And there's so much luck involved. It's interesting here, right? Because imagine there was another city site to the south that wasn't a blocked off
yep.
peninsula.
Yep.
There's no
He would have been
way.
down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, well, he wouldn't be in range of the stun, but also he wouldn't have military near the clear city site. So why would he? The city site's not going to spawn a barb camp. This is a clear site.
Yep.
So
Oh, so his scout is now visible, which means Aura can see his scout. Oh boy.
why can I not switch over? It's alt click. Okay, there we go. There's
It's
the
all
alt click.
click, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now
All
are we
right.
back to Oro?
Yep,
And
and Fluffy just moved his and healed up with his oh my lord. Oh,
yeah,
he put his slinger right in Aura's sights. I'm expecting a
can
barb
and
buy
Aura
and a
can see the
stun.
barb. Yeah, exactly. He buys the barb here, stuns the hero unit, and now this is good game to the slinger there at the very least. Perhaps not good
Yeah,
game
the slinger's
entirely.
dead.
Yeah.
Although fortunately it's in a forest. So it'll only take 2 damage. Assuming
Well,
he
he can
moves
move
to the
it.
town next to it.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to stay where he is. He can move. He could have moved
Yeah,
across.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He did.
Oh,
And he
here we
moved
go.
closer. Yeah.
And we've got the stun.
Yeah. And now
And he did buy the barb.
what I want to see from yeah, of course, because that makes total sense. This is the rush strategy paying off here with Swift across, Swift tactics across. What I
Turn
want to
9.
see here is does Fluffy immediately switch both production sites immediately?
Yes.
Yeah, on the bottom, the slinger. He needs to do the capital too.
I think he wants to try to grab
There
the
he
city
goes.
site.
Look at
No,
that.
yeah,
Look at that
both. Yeah.
immediate response.
Yep.
Just a nice
Yep.
seasoned player here playing well. It's nice.
Yep.
So
And
totally. Go ahead.
yeah, and the reinforcement line is much closer. And then you see a comment from Fluffy. Well, that's not good.
It's not closer though, right? I mean, if you look at the distance between that barb site and where they're fighting compared to Fluffy's capital and where they're fighting, I think the barb camp's actually closer.
No, I meant from unit production. But you're right. The barb camp is closer, and it will spawn another unit in
4 turns.
4 turns.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
Yeah.
is kind of
This
wild.
is Carthage. This is Carthage just being that
We haven't seen this
explosive.
level of Carthage aggressive.
But I love this about multiplayer in games because what's happening here is the pressure of the pressure of competition is driving innovation, and you're starting to see, what can you do when you maximize something, when you lean in as heavily as you can into a certain type of strategy. This is a rush strategy.
Yep, and some great banter here from Auro.
Yeah.
The holy hand grenade had been lost. Now we just need to see if it's holy enough.
Let's go have a look what else is going on in his empire. Yeah, he's not even that far behind in the back here, is he? Same number of cities. He hasn't lost anything like that. He's got the next site cleared, so he's ready for his next settler. He's building one more
Yep.
unit back here. How's his money? His money's great. 200 gold a turn, 600 banked for Carthage. It's actually great these aren't tribes for him, I think. If they were tribes and he could have kept the peace, I suppose that would be better. But, there's no additional cost because he's not at war with these barbs, right? They don't go to war.
His new city site also gives him vision of that Scythian site, so he now knows where there's tribes, and he could buy that Nomad Skirmisher because you just need vision.
Yeah.
Um,
But he can't walk across, though, right?
he doesn't know that yet, right? So.
Okay, yeah, but I just meant they
Yes,
don't
yes, he
retain
can't.
the ability to
They
embark,
will
right?
not go across the water.
Okay.
Exactly, correct.
Yeah.
Exciting game. We've got combat right away.
And I mean, again, there's some interesting things here. Fluffy got a little lucky, I think, that his unit was in trees. I don't know if we can call Fluffy's position lucky, but now, of course, the barbarian unit is melee and doesn't care about the trees. Not a lot of damage,
Yeah.
but still, it matters. And is it steadfast? What's his promotion? How do I tell that? Can you click it somewhere? Oh, it's Highlander, so he's on a hill. Okay.
Auro's promotion is Ranger from trees, so 25% extra damage. So those two kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, I was kind of curious why Fluffy's unit was as tanky as it was, and it looks like
Yeah, he got Highlander
Yep.
for his original promo. So,
but he's not even level 2. I mean, I guess 4 years he can rush the Slinger out with developing culture in Fluffy's cap.
But then it just gets stunned, right?
Well, he has to bring in at least 2 units at the same time. With 2 units, it's a little different.
So rushing doesn't really save him much. He needs to wait for the 7-year production, and this unit is dead in, I guess, 2 turns.
And another Carthage synergy here, because the thing he can do is he can slap a tactician on whatever unit is, and that will at least will do some damage back, but not to the Slinger. So the Slinger leader is just, he has no answer to the Slinger leader. And in fact, I'd be surprised if there is an answer to that right now.
Yeah, I mean, Fluffy is probably one of the strongest players in the tournament, so this would be a pretty big upset. But yeah, I'm really curious how he's going to get out of this situation, if he'll get out of this situation, just because.
Well, it's so interesting because this is so early in the game. Where are his options? If we think about all the things you could be doing right now, well, you can't rush anything. You're not at developing culture. It's too early for that.
Yep.
His leader's a judge. There's not a critical. I mean, his judge does have intelligent and looks like it has 2 wisdom from somewhere. I haven't been tracking the events, so I guess there could be a critical that comes out of this, that maybe turns the tide a little bit, but that's less likely or equally likely, I suppose, to the 2 wisdom tactician Slinger having a critical, and he's only got 2 cities, so there's nothing he can do for that. I mean, I guess he could be looking for. There's no governors. I just checked the cleric seat. No governors available there that have any training, and same with the capital seat. So
yeah, so he is holding court on his judge, which will give him 110 civics. To me, that implies he's going to rush slingers out, because once he has 2 slingers, he can at least deal some damage. Unfortunately, Aksum does not start with ironworking, which means it's going to be really hard for him to fight a slinger in a forest. And of course, there's that barb unit to deal with as well.
Yeah, actually, interestingly, he's getting a little punished for Aksum here because Aksum gets to skip ironworking to go with labor force already entered, and he's checking navigation right now. So just no warrior here, which makes it particularly rough here.
This may be a very, very short game here, potentially.
Yeah.
The one saving grace is that there is not really a tribal site nearby that he can upgrade to 6 strength to.
I'd like to see this. Keep going.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd like to see Auro scout. It's interesting he's blocking the city site. I think that's reasonable. I'd like to see him keeping sight on the barb camp to grab that next one when it pops out.
Yes, I think we can't quite see. If you hover over, it'll say the next unit in 2 years, but we can't see that right now. Auro does have vision of the barb camp thanks to the barb unit, actually. So.
Oh, it has sight. I was on Fluffy. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm expecting another buy there. Yeah, this is really rough.
Yeah, it was quite demoralizing, I got to say, to play against it too, because you don't feel like you're searching around your toolkit for what you can do against it. And you're like, I don't know what I can do here.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, and this is doable with Carthage, but in theory you could do this with an Orator. Well, I guess the Orator wouldn't give you the stun. So yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't give you the stun. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Fluffy, much weaker, something you almost never see in a game.
Yeah. Yep. Very aggressive player in general. Very heavy military. And like I don't really feel like Carthage has slowed down very much if I look at his progress. Like he's now in his third city, just keeps going.
Yeah, I mean,
800
he
civics
can.
banked, he can rush as well. It's not like he's trapped from that. And if he gets this
Yep.
water network up to reinforce, I mean, Fluffy basically has to get to what, 4 slingers maybe, and maybe he can push out now. Or if he can kill that scout and rush the city there, but he doesn't have another settler.
Yeah, I mean the settler's queued, so it's 5 years away. He'll probably rush it if need be. He does have a judge, which is probably the best thing that he could have in this situation because it does give him that hold civics to pump out extra civics for rushing. Um, the problem, of course, is Carthage can now start hitting the cities, which will prevent rushing.
Yeah. Um, a question from Chad is stun permanent? No, but it reapplies every attack, right? So it's a 1 round stun, and but every round the tactician applies that 1 round stun. And it doesn't. It's a decent ability, but it's better the smaller the number of units, right? And the player Auro here is leveraging the strongest time for it, right? Which is if your opponent only has 1 unit and you only have 1 unit, well, a stun is 100% disable of their entire team, which is what we just seen.
Yeah, I see Fluffy chopping some woods here with his workers. He is developing already on that, so as you can see, patrons did beat traders to developing. He's getting 13 culture in his cap, verse 11 in Carthage. So
Yeah, man, he's probably sitting in exactly how I felt when I dealt with the strategy, really regretting the second settle not just being the military civ.
yes, if that was a champion seat, then he'd have a slinger out right now because you can produce in 4 years.
Yeah,
And he did rush that slinger with civics, so that
yep.
was an expensive rush.
It's got to
But he
happen
needs
though.
to at this point.
I kind of want to see. I haven't counted the tiles, and without the easy interface, I may not bother. But I wonder if roads help him get to his next city site. He needs to get that champion seat down. That has to happen. And right now, his chance of getting back in this game is killing that scout and settling the same turn. So he needs to do that as order efficient as possible to make sure he actually can do that before that site gets blocked. There may not be
Yeah.
time, but I would like to see if I can any roads to make that movement faster, right? So we can do that in one because that terrain is not pleasant. That's hills, rivers, and forest all the way across.
Yes, it is. That is going to be a slow slog to move across. Of course, he does have roads with labor force.
Yep.
Whether he'll be able to sneakily build some roads out, I don't know. It's going to be tough. And of course,
Doesn't need many. He just needs that because the slinger spawns in that city center, right? Oh, oh no! That's look what's happening
yeah,
here.
he's going to start hitting the slinger. But fortunately, the rush has already been done. So, and he won't be able to stun the slinger inside the city.
But that's actually a chunk of damage there. Was that just single attack? Was 4 of
So he does
20?
have ranger. He does have ranger. So and he has a procedure as well. So if you hover over the,
Oh, he
if you
picked
just
up
click,
Besieger as another his
yeah,
second. Yeah. Oh my god.
yeah, if
So
you click on the unit and then
yeah,
just hover over the city, you can get the combat breakdown to see exactly.
yeah, that's
Um,
gonna chunk that city. And now he can't rush the settler. He can only get the slinger, and he literally by 1 turn got that rush off. And that's
yeah.
if he hadn't been as on the ball as he was with all of those responses, including the culture.
Yep.
Patrons here are actually very interesting because if it wasn't patrons, he wouldn't have been able to rush, right? We just saw the next
Yep.
best
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
here is traders, and the
And he's
traders
not
is
there
like
yet.
2 turns
Yeah.
off yet. So any other starting family,
He's holding on,
yeah,
and that you can't stun units inside cities. So um, he can slowly chip this down. He's probably going to upgrade this to militia. No, he's chopping with that worker. Oh man, this is amazing to see tactical play like this from Fluffy.
yeah, he shouldn't
Worker's
have
probably going
denied
to
the
go hide
spots,
inside the city. Yeah, because he doesn't want the barb to be able to hit the city without
right?
being enforced
Yeah.
or with being
Although
enforced.
he has a huge problem here. He needs to get the slinger off the field. So is he going to switch
Yeah.
damage when the barb arrives? I don't
I,
think he
I don't think
can.
he will. Yeah, I don't think he will. It's just that like he doesn't want to have another spot
Yeah,
available,
yeah, yeah. It's a
and
game
he has
live.
to
It is
repair
totally
damage
live.
here.
Yes.
The next slinger is coming in 3 years. Maybe Fluffy will be able to hold. The problem is there's another barb unit coming up.
Yeah.
And again, if he had champions settled second, he went a little greedy with that clerics in the
No, he
back.
didn't. But I don't think this is greedy at all. So that's interesting you say that. Maybe the location was greedy as opposed to the faction. Maybe it should have been his free site, especially
No,
when
no,
you're
no.
playing.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think the general rule of thumb is you definitely want a military seat second, just in case, and just for the faster military unit. It shaves off at least 2 turns and 4 turns for a champion. But I mean, yeah, it
Yeah, sorry. I don't think.
Definitely.
I think the
Yeah.
position is very not great for champions and pretty good for clerics. So
Yes, yeah, I don't know that I would have settled champions down at the bottom. Correct. That is a champion. That is a nice cleric spot with, especially with the olives there and the barley. That's absolutely great. Like, yeah. And you have horses in the north, which would have been better for champs. All right.
huh?
So,
Do you think?
ooh, capital might go down here.
Yeah, it's taking a lot of damage.
Do I think?
I was just I'm trying to this like again. Oro has practiced this a little bit, and he had a very focused, synergetic game plan, and it's paid off very well so far. Like he's done all of the things right with his plan, and that's been cool to see. What I'm wondering about is this follow up. Probably not a lot of people survive this portion. I'm guessing, just my own experience and how poorly it's going for Fluffy at the moment. I wonder if your
Yeah, I
follow up
mean,
really needs to be these slingers. Like I don't know that they ever get there. Like the number of orders and the amount of time to build them. Maybe you just hard econ behind this, right? With the thought process being that if you get pushed out of here, you're just reinforcing with the barbarians anyways. And if you get pushed out of this area somehow, like this rush doesn't succeed, well, if you're on 5 cities and all of them have a worker and have already started all their stuff, you don't lose from there anyways. Your opponent is then like 3 cities behind, like 7 or 8 turns in each city, or whatever the difference is going to be there, and you can build units there. I don't know if the units here are relevant, so maybe.
yeah, I mean, I mean, if you wanted to be very, very greedy, you could actually have gone triple settler or double settler as well, and maybe one
Yeah.
slinger, and then just cleared the middle site and cleared the next site and settled on top of them, and then built set slingers from those city sites,
Yep.
and then you have an interesting challenge for Fluffy.
Yeah.
Um, the city hopefully won't fall here, and once that slinger pops out of Yeha, he will be able to Zocklock the tactician slinger.
Does can he though?
He did
Because
switch. He did switch damage to the barb as well.
the first time the slinger wants to leave, it just doesn't attack for a turn, then it goes invisible. Can it walk away when it's invisible? I think it doesn't have Zoc lock once it's invisible.
Oh, excellent point. You're correct.
So
Oh man.
I don't think that slinger's in any risk of dying, and it has to be. It does so much damage to the city, it can't be ignored. But every time he attacks it, yeah, he's already switched off it and switched to the barb unit, which makes sense. It's just like it's
Yeah.
so he's fighting such an awful game where he spends every turn. Fluffy is
Oof.
fighting an awful game here. He spends every turn repairing, and that means he only has one city doing anything. It's building a slinger, and his other city is
Yeah.
forced to repair every turn. And he's what? He's killing a replaceable unit that just trickles in every 6 turns or
Yeah.
something off the
And
barbarian.
another one is already there,
Yeah.
um, which he sees. So,
Oh,
oh, he's actually attacking the worker?
I don't like that. I mean, maybe. I mean, this is. I don't know if I like that or not.
Ah,
It's economic damage. Fluffy will have to replace that worker. It's a huge hit to lose it early. Does
well,
it
the
get
problem is
stunned?
he can't, uh,
Doesn't look like it got stunned.
it doesn't look like he got stunned. I'm not sure what he attacked. I thought he
No,
attacked the worker.
yeah, he definitely attacked the worker. He's on his attacks on cooldown. I wonder if while it's building, it can't be stunned, or possibly you just can't stun workers, or maybe you can't stun embarked units. Who knows? There's gonna be some
Yeah,
interaction there.
I don't know, honestly. I never use a tactician attack on a worker, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Awkwardly, Fluffy's slinger cannot leave the city, because if it does, it will get stunned.
yeah,
Oh, you can't stun in the ocean. Thank you, Scientific.
yeah.
You can't stun from land to ocean. That's what it is. The
Huh.
worker is in the ocean and it can't be stunned. Like tacticians can't stun boats or workers in the water.
God, it's gonna be so hard for Fluffy to get out of this. I mean, he can Zocklock the. Well, I mean, not with the rivers easily here, but the Oro's slinger being outside of forest does allow the potential to get that off the field. Now, the general can be reapplied to any of these barb units, but it's a lot less powerful on the melee than it is on the range for this, I think.
Auro's confused about the stun.
Same
I
questions we
don't
had.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fluffy can choose to explain or not. We will not be doing game rule clarifications during a duel. Um, but yes, as Scientific points out, the actual reason is you can't stun from land to water or vice versa.
Meanwhile, Carthage Econ, 2 slingers coming out. Scout standing around, or rather, slinger standing around. Bottom's camp being cleared. He just bought both the barbs defending it and now uses to clear the camp. Rushing the shopkeeper with civics because why not? And I assume setting up to take the middle expansion. So even if Fluffy fights this off, which is going to be hard.
Yeah, Carthage will be on 5, maybe 6 cities
Yeah.
by the
And
time Fluffy yeah. Wow.
I really don't. I mean, I suppose he thought he was going to get the worker. He didn't know the stun wasn't going to stun the worker in water. I don't think I would have known that either. But I really liked him attacking the city, Oro attacking Fluffy's city every single turn. Because if every turn that Fluffy spends just having to repair walls is a
I
turn he
agree.
doesn't get to do anything. He's only got 2 production sites. If half of his production is going towards wall repair, he's never ever going to get out from under this.
I agree. And I think like your win, like if you take his capital, there's no coming back, right? That's it. That's over. There's no way back.
Yep.
Whereas killing a worker, probably not. And moving off now means he was able to use that worker to chop the forest next to Dulles, which means now there is no
Yeah.
forest next to the cap. So he will be able to do a little bit more damage.
I gotta
He's
say,
attacking from
for
that forest.
a surprise rush here that Fluffy clearly wasn't expecting, probably hasn't seen before, because again, this multiplayer community is fairly small as how to say this. The game's been out for a while. The multiplayer's really kind of picked up more, I think, recently than ever before, and strategies are still kind of being defined. So I doubt he's seen this ever. You know, it might literally be the first time this has happened, you know, outside of Auro's practice matches kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
So I
He's
think he's
doing
responding
a
really
great job
well.
reacting. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's done all the right things, right? He's immediately switched to double military production, immediately rushed everything he possibly could. He's noticed and identified the ranger on the tactician and the problems he's going to have with the unit in the forest getting away, and he's removed all the immediate stuff to reduce the incoming damage. I think he's doing an excellent job for being caught by such a strategy as strong as this that he hasn't seen before.
Yeah, his next slinger has come out, and he's chosen to promote it with Highlander, which is a smart play there. He is continuing to chop with that worker there, and run away and hide with the worker, just deny forest and chop.
Yeah,
Wow.
and throwing it in the water because he knows that it can't be
Yep.
stunned there.
And
Kudos to him.
he did reply to Aura's question. Very, very kind of him to explain.
Yeah, he's a good natured guy.
And to scientific, in one of the cloud tournaments last year, Fluffy did rush someone and kill them with tactician on
Oh
turn
yes,
9.
okay. Then yeah,
So he's done the tactician rush, not the Carthage tactician rush that I've seen, but he's definitely done a tactician rush. Hello, I'm going to stun your starting unit.
yeah.
Um, so he's aware of that,
An
but
evolution of that
yeah,
nonetheless. Then yeah,
yeah.
I would like to
Ooh,
see some workers from Carthage with the number of barbarian units. I mean, he's probably got more military units than he can move with orders right now. He's making 15 orders a turn. He's got six military units or something. Like to
yeah.
see a
I mean, I
worker.
think I don't know that I love the double slinger in Lilybum because when are you going to ever move that far?
Yeah.
Yeah, worker would have been good to at least get the eco. Although I guess there's some ore to improve in that city. But yeah, definitely focuses all what's going on next to Dulles in Aksum.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how. What would it take to get a settler up there? If he can settle this site, if Auro settles this site and has a place to promote these barb units,
Oh, you mean put a settler on Fluffy's free site?
yeah, he could get one over there.
Yeah, that would be
It's quite a ways
that
though,
would
I
be
suppose.
brutal.
Yeah.
That would be pretty brutal.
But I think it's better than just one more slinger showing up, you know? So,
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I would have liked to see maybe triple settler, and then you just buy barbs on the way that he's doing, and then clear the sites with barbs, and then just settle on top of them. Yeah, if he settled that city site, that would pretty much be GG. I mean, the other thing, when he settles the middle city site, he will be able to buy the Scythians and upgrade them to strength 6. Barbs can only upgrade to strength 4.
hmm.
And as Scientific points out in chat, not having champs as the second city or first city against Carthage.
Oh, I have a question about Strict here. Just
Please.
timely. Before this attack hits the city center, can Fluffy rush the settler right now? Is it Fluffy's turn right now? Oh, it is Fluffy's turn right now.
It is
Okay. Never mind,
Fluffy's turn right now. He can rush the settler.
All right, sorry. Go back to I lost you after you're talking about the difference in unit strengths. What was the second part of that you were saying?
Was just saying the barbs can only be upgraded to strength 4, whereas tribal units can get upgraded to strength 6. So once he unlocks that middle city and settles on it, he can bring Scythians forward because he'll be able to buy them and then have them with the city walk across the water, which they wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
Yep.
So once you have a 6 strength unit, the game definitely, like these 3 strength barbarians are not that strong, right? Like,
No, these units are very weak, but they just prevent
yeah.
him from ever
Yes.
retreating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we don't see a rush settler here from Fluffy. He could
Civics
do it
problem,
with civics.
as
No,
Aaron pointed
he's
out in
got
chat.
he does have the civic sword, I thought. Oh no, he doesn't. You're right. I'm looking at the wrong person. Yeah. So he's short. He needs 370. Settlers are a little extra.
Not even. This might be a man. It's a in love hero, so there's some utility there. It is a stronger attacking unit. I get that, but I kind of liked converting the. Oh, is hold court require training or not? Maybe it doesn't.
Hold court does require training. It's 100 training to turn into.
Yeah, okay. I would have liked to have seen
civics.
this conversion because I think rushing is his only way out of this. So I don't know that the attached general is actually much better than a heal action with a conversion from the judge converting into training or
Yeah, I
into
mean,
civics.
I would have liked to see maybe Eagle Eye instead of that. Would have been a better promo. It is available
Oh yeah,
there.
that's true too. Well, 190, which he can't afford.
Wish he, yeah, if he didn't spend it on the general though, he bid 150, so he could get it next turn. But who knows?
Yeah, taking
Um,
another turn off next turn may not be good either.
yeah, I mean, he is getting a warrior now. He did get ironworking tech wise,
Yeah,
so he's getting a warrior, and yeah, he's continuing to keep that slinger in the city, which where it's safe from stun. So I think he's going to try to build up to critical mass here, settle and break out potentially. Um,
but
Carthage does have units in the middle of the map, so maybe if everything in the middle comes, that's going to be really tough to deal.
yeah, I think.
All hail King
I
Filthy
mean,
the
I look
caster.
around. I look
Long
around and
may he
see
reign.
Carthage unit count over here and city count come over here, and I think Fluffy maybe pushes us off, but I've been thinking this ever since that first unit died. That Auro really doesn't have to do much damage beyond the containment to come out of
Yeah,
this way ahead.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have, and he's blocking the city site with his barb to avoid any silly rush settler.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is really rough for Luffy.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Carthage is very strong. Hopefully, we don't see every next game in the tournament degenerate to this.
I hope we do, for the reason that that type of thing tends to get stuff changed, right? Not that I
That's true.
think Mohawk is.
Yeah, yeah,
I think Mohawk's very responsive about their changes to begin
yeah. They
with,
are.
but
They are. They are.
and Fluffy is literally working for Mohawk, so I expect he will have
Yes.
some thoughts about this. So,
Yes.
um, it's the map size. It's not just the map size. It's a combination of things going into this. Carthage itself is very strong. I would be shocked if Carthage doesn't, um, if it isn't Carthage winning the tournament. I'd be pretty shocked.
It's 43 tiles between capitals, so it is dual wide. Um, so a little cozy at 43, but not definitely not like a 30 tile start or something.
Yep.
A tiny at 60, it would be a little harder because I think Fluffy would have potentially had another unit or two out. Um,
But the situation always arises for this to be possible because your units are
yes.
in danger from fighting. And as we said, Fluffy got a little lucky in the sense that his unit that got caught out wasn't already being attacked by two barbs. Imagine
Yep.
this right after you start your work on a camp that has two units spawned uh, in the center unit itself. That's three units attacking your stunned unit. Like just because it's a little further apart doesn't make it undoable to do something like this. So I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And it's not
I
the
think it.
tactician part that I think is actually. I mean, here it's certainly pretty brutal, and there's not a lot of counterplay to a unit that's invisible, so you can't see it coming in. You know it's going to happen, but what are you going to do? Not clear camps? You can't not clear camps. So
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
bring your one worker that you brought along to chop all the trees for full orders every single time around a camp to hope that the tactician doesn't stun you? I mean, it's just like
Yeah. No. 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 Not feasible.
yeah.
He does have a heckler now on that unit.
On
Uh,
which
on Carthage has heckler on his
oh
leader as well,
no,
so he
so
gets
his
extra damage
three
to those generals. Yeah,
his
that general
so
is out.
So Fluffy got
Poison pill.
punished for putting that general on essentially. It's 25. It's
Hmm.
so for this unit, which is the leader and the unit, right? It's 35% attack and defense against general, right?
Yeah, but I think the wall. I mean, if yeah, I can't quite see it because it's in the city, so it's attacking the city before it attacks that unit.
Sure, it
Um,
won't help on the offense, but it will help on
but
the
yes, yeah, yeah,
defense. Fluffy will do
yes,
less damage probably having attached this hero than he was doing without the hero.
yes. It is plus 25 and plus 10. Yeah, if I click the slinger in the city and then hover over the slinger outside the
Yeah,
city, you'll get a nice little combat preview
yeah,
of that.
yeah, I get the preview, but I'm not sure the damage it was doing
It it
before
it
and
shows
after.
their heckler, it shows heckler leader and heckler
Yeah,
as separate bonuses to your point. So you're correct.
yeah, yeah, that. But I meant I wonder if the hero, which normally adds damage because of its courage stat, is actually doing less. If Fluffy's Slinger now does less damage compared to what it would have without the hero attached at all. I think
Yeah,
yes.
that I don't remember, but I think so. Scientific makes a great point that had Fluffy cleared east instead of south, he would have settled that city on the barb site, um,
Yep.
and potentially would have been able to wall off the tactician for coming in, or at least be able to fight in the city because the city actually would have zoc locked everything.
That's why I'm kind
Um,
of kicking myself that I didn't wasn't a little bit better about watching the scouting. I wish from their point of view, I wish I didn't. Here, I wish I'd have the option to turn off. I want to look
yeah,
from players to see what they can see and what they couldn't see because Fluffy made the decision to go south and Oro made the decision to go north. and that has been extremely game defining in lots of ways. And I
Yep.
want to know why they made those decisions. Like, in the sense of what were they seeing that led them that way. I know a lot of how the patterns are going to be thinking, and I'm sure we'll get elaboration on that when we talk to them after. But I am quite curious if that was a mistake, or that's more like the pattern of the land pushes you in a way, and it often does with scouts, right? You want to get vision, you want to see
Yep.
site stuff, you want to see resources, and a lot of times the timing matters, right? If you can kill a camp in 3 turns instead of 4 turns, you avoid that next spawn. So where you can get to, where your scouts saw, and where you can get to in the first turn often defines how you move in this game. So I'm
Absolutely.
curious. I'm curious where the decision point actually was about settling south versus east versus north.
Yeah, so Carthage is sending 2 settlers along the northern line here. So I
I
presume he's
like
going to
that.
settle both those cities.
I hope he skips that. I hope he settles.
The Free City site?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the center tile, I think would be worth settling because I think it gives access, even though that won't necessarily matter. But I want to see the free city site get settled because I think that steals the game.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a huge upset. Root still, I don't think Fluffy's entirely out yet. I just like once these cities go down, it's going to be very challenging to
He's a second life,
get
anyways,
out.
too, right? Because the tournament allows
He
it's
does have a
2.
second life,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
He'll be down in the lower bracket.
In fact, then I'm rooting for Fluffy to lose this one and come back and have a second match versus Auro with like that in his mind with the redemption arc. That's what I'm rooting for out of
Yeah,
this.
that would definitely make a better story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, the loser of this match will yeah, will face someone who will be one of Sabretooth, Mongrel Eyes, Sea Sand, Ice Matrix. Um, yeah, one of those 4 because they need to play against each other and then they play against each other again. So it'll be a while.
Normally, Fluffy's
Um,
such a good-natured guy. He's a very aggressive player, but he's a very good-natured guy. I'd love to.
yeah.
I'd love to see a little annoyance in his next match. I want to see what an angry Fluffy plays like.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see where Carthage settles. I'm actually really curious to see where these settlers go. And yeah, I think I would have loved to see the 3rd settler because then he could have just settled all 3 sites. Because you're right, like these slingers are like, for example, that slinger in Lily Bomb is just doing nothing at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
all right, let's take the
I
middle,
wonder if
which
I wonder
means now
if
can buy the Scythians.
Yep, that'd be
Right?
good if you can buy them because he needs that. I mean, these barbarian units are doing almost nothing outside of just
Yeah.
sheer numerical superiority right now. So they're doing lots of annoying things. They're standing on a site. They're randomly harassing a worker over there. If this map was anything but these resources, they would have pillaged everything, and that would be even worse for
Yep.
Fluffy. So again, map helping a little bit here, but
Yeah, the water resources help quite a bit. Looks like Auro may lose his one of his Marauders, which I guess he doesn't care about, because the Barb is going to hit it probably next turn. So
yeah, may even want it gone. Doesn't have to pay the upkeep that way.
it doesn't matter. It's poof.
It's just such
Wow.
a direct translation of. It's hard in the early game to translate gold directly into military strength or like expansion speed, with the
Yeah.
exception of Carthage, which gets to take a
Yes.
resource that every other faction can't directly convert like that, really, until Judges to do
Yep.
that,
Yeah, Judges or even later with Holy War and Martial Code.
or Landowners early, I suppose. But yeah. But none of those quite as
Yeah.
direct and much later in the game.
Yeah. So we've got a Warrior out in 3, Warrior out in 8. So he's going to have 4 units here, and maybe if he saves for a rush and the city doesn't get hit, 4 units should be enough to clean this up. Like the barbs are not going to be enough.
Yeah, I really wish I'd see workers out of Oro from this strategy. Like just a worker in each of these cities, and I don't see Fluffy has any chance. I don't think Fluffy has any chance right now either, but I think he's got more of a chance because there's no development going on in these cities, really.
Yeah, going all in like this, where you're just like, I'm just not going to bother building up behind it, is definitely a little risky because if Fluffy somehow miraculously does manage to get his champ seat up, and like, yeah. So I don't know. I'm amazed at this game already. This is definitely a classic already.
I have
Um,
a, a theory as to why there aren't worker follow up right now out of Oro. You know what that
what's your
theory
theory?
is? I think he's practiced this a couple times. I think his opponents, when there isn't a tournament, probably are mostly conceding after that first unit dies.
Yeah.
So I
Like,
bet
oh my
you
God, I
he
lost my
hasn't.
starting unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet you his all of his training matches hasn't gone past killing that first unit in a couple turns of maybe attacking the city, right? So I bet you that's why there's not much. The rest of the strategy isn't as well rehearsed, including the fact that probably workers are better than pure military out of these cities so far away.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big problem is like just orders moving that slinger. That's going to be like, I don't know, 15 orders to move a slinger across the map,
Yeah.
which that's insane. That's like your entire order income.
Yeah. Well, scientific saying he's seen Fluffy recover a situation like this.
We might see a recovery here.
I think that is a lot of faith. I think it's a very difficult situation to recover from, and I think I don't know if there's a difference in skill level between these players. I haven't seen enough of either of their games, and certainly not their own competitions. But I do know both these players are very solid players, so it would be quite a skill gap to recover. If you can recover the situation without a significant skill gap, I would love to see how. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get to see that gameplay, but I'll be surprised.
Yeah, but I think you're right. He definitely should be building some workers and settlers behind this. It doesn't look like he's going to settle the site that he's blocking. It looks like he's going to settle maybe the northern site. We'll see.
It's definitely safer. It makes some sense. It's a nice walling site. There's no way. I mean, with these mountains, Fluffy literally can't get anywhere else on the map. He has to go through that city. But I mean, the thing that's gonna happen here is Fluffy's going to have to build units to even get out. If he gets to a point where he can get out at all, those units are going to go straight into whatever is available there.
Yep.
I think what I liked about Auro taking the site right next to Fluffy, besides denying that for the immediate champion settle. The walls are going to have to go down. Even if you lose the city, the walls have to go down. He has to take it over. Still, that's like 6 extra turns or something like that. I like the upgrade point for the barb, so he doesn't actually have to let Fluffy get strong enough to do something. Now, maybe this other northern site works, but it's just a little bit delayed.
He is bringing a slinger over as well, so we're going to have another slinger coming in. Still haven't seen any of the Scythian units bought, which I guess makes sense because he doesn't have that much training. But would have still liked to buy like one of them maybe, and then upgrade it to strength 6, especially with Swift and horse units. Those units can get over pretty quickly.
Looking at Carthage tech right here. What do we actually have? Has he been running Interstalkers this whole time? I assume he has.
Yeah, I usually just start it right away as Carthage. So
yeah.
All right, Fluffy's moving out.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, some hits.
But not a kill.
It's kind of bold. I mean, with Fluffy's, I guess the city site doing a lot of work here, in the sense of he has quite good vision. And these barbs are not ranged units, so he gets a sense this slinger's isolated. I like it. And
let's see what Carthage does to respond here. Well, his unit goes invisible.
I know, so he doesn't have to. He can pass the turn to respond if he wanted. That's the response he needs to make.
I definitely can't stun one of these units because then I think he loses the unit.
Well, losing the unit isn't the end of the road. He just force marched that.
Oh, he's force marching towards the free city site. Yep.
I like this play.
Ooh.
I like this play a lot. Because it's gonna take Fluffy so long to get through this.
And now he can heal inside the city.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
Oh boy, with a tactician in a city.
Yep.
That I think is GG. I don't see a way back from this. I don't see a way back from this.
That's nasty.
Like attacking a city with a tactician inside, that is.
Yeah, that's gonna be because the stun goes out, right?
The stun goes out, but nothing. You can't stun in, but you can stun out.
Yeah. Because I know Tactician has some weird interactions with cities. Like a Tactician inside a city wall does not counterattack in melee. So I wasn't sure if the stun coming out of this did. So it sounds like the stun still works, just not the counterattack portion.
Yeah, this might be a very short game. One of the shortest games in the tournament. I think my last game was 30 turns or something. So this might clock in under
23. Yeah, it's. Well, it depends how stubborn Fluffy is. It might take 5 more turns to get pushed into the city and have no. I mean, I don't think he can win from here either. I haven't thought he's been able to win in a while. But you know, scientific telling me he's come back from worse. I'd love to see the replay, my friend. If you've got one sitting around, that'd be fantastic.
Figured sword coming. Not sure what Auro means by that in chat.
The warrior killing the barb unit.
Yeah.
And he can only put one unit in the city center, and these are hills overlooking it. Could there have been a better? No, that's a hill. It is a hill, even though the city center always makes it look dipped in. I was gonna say is there a better spot, but no, that's pretty good.
No, I think it was a force march, so it was that side or nothing else. I don't remember exactly how much further he could have gone. He does have his next slinger coming up. He's definitely gonna lose that barb unit. Still has not bought a Scythian unit.
I'd like to see him harvest these olives too, because he can get this to develop in culture actually fairly quickly. The 100.
Yes, just probably needs tempo.
Yeah.
Um,
How's the tech? All right, so where are your there's fancy graphs that I could be looking at, right?
yes, if you click the show record screen, F8, the one that looks like a chart, it's the far right one. It's not grayed out. Yep, that one. You can see military score.
Where is science? So this is what I wanted to look at. So actually, despite the city count, this is intelligent, right? This is what's carrying Fluffy's science production right now because they're
Yes.
almost neck and
Yep.
neck. So
Yep.
despite the fact he's been on 2 cities this entire game, if you want a comparison to how intelligent does, right? Like I guess it's been 2 to 3 cities to begin with, but it has been judge versus tactician for science
Yeah.
as well, and then now just with these last 2 settles, has Carthage really taken ahead the science lead? Now Fluffy had to go back for some things he didn't want. He had to pick up ironworking to get the warrior option here. Looking at the wrong players.
We got some more combat here. Auro is attacking Fluffy. He's got the
he's
stun
pushing
on
in.
the warrior.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the stun on the warrior. And he brought in the next slinger as well.
Oh, zealot, tough, ruthless zealot, pretty nasty for an attacking unit, even in the trees. These are ranger too, right? Because was the ranger the perk from? Yeah, it was the faction perk, right? No, it's not.
No, Ranger is just on that first unit.
Okay. So it's Heckler.
Right, so he has Zoc locked. He has Zoc locked the leader. Of course, the leader can just go invisible.
Yeah.
The bar, but of course the leader can't stun the warrior. Yeah. So this is actually interesting. He won't be able to quite kill the leader next turn. He does have a warrior coming up that he will be able to kill the leader. So this is actually an incredibly important turn for Auro, because if he stuns that warrior, he will lose his slinger with the tactician.
Yeah. He
Of course,
has
he can
sight of that
reassign the
warrior though,
tactician
right?
somewhere
With the
else.
scout.
He does. He does have vision. Yeah. He's got pretty good vision with the scout just sitting outside the city.
And nothing stops him from stunning further away, right?
Well, the problem is he's Zoc locked right now.
Oh, right. He can't move. Yeah.
So I think he just I think the correct play is go invisible.
Fluffy force
and then
march
move
that,
out
though.
next turn. Yeah, I think the correct play is go invisible and move out next turn.
Hard to keep track of the turns actually when there's so much vision going on. All right.
Yeah, let's see what Auro does in response here. He can move out with that because Tactician Invisibility ignores Zoc, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Actually, amusingly, his other units also get this because it's a nationwide ranged bonus, right?
Yes,
So,
all ranged units.
So Fluffy gets to, if Auro wants, he can leave both his units here, just do other actions, like worker actions if he had any workers, and then whenever he wants, reveal and attack units from stealth with stun.
Yeah. Yep, boom, move out and heal up, and then the other one can just sit there.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I presume Fluffy's going to start attacking the city soon, because there's not much else to attack. And as Scientific points out, Fluffy actually can't found champions unless he settles the city, because Mohawk changed it so you can't found by conquering.
Huh. Yeah. So he's blocked out of his most powerful, the most powerful military civ, especially early in the game. He can't get to. If I were him, every time I would be looking at this cleric seat, I'd be annoyed. So
yes. The game would be very different if that was a champions site.
I don't know if it would be very different. I would get, certainly there would be more units from Fluffy earlier, but I think it's very hard to deal with your first unit being killed, having to flip all of your econ into military, and then spending multiple turns having to deal with that before you can even begin developing like normal, right? So
yeah, completely agree. But it would have been very different, because just you would have had twice the units coming out of it. You would have had two slingers instead of one
too, which is nice.
And steadfast, which would melt the barbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think Carthage is going to pull that settler over and settle that last site. So unless Fluffy clears the Scythians or the barbarians, he's not going to be able to found champions, which feels horrible.
Yep.
All right, he's retreating back a little bit and healing. That hero, it does allow him to heal outside the borders, so saving an order. And he's continuing to do epic wood chopping with this worker.
So am I just blind here? I'm on Fluffy's viewpoint. Why is the slinger still visible?
It's not. It's not visible to him. It's visible to us. So we get vision of invisible units, but he can't see it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, observer mode is a little
different than just the player view.
Okay.
Observer mode is amazing. Like, there's so many games that don't even bother with that type of thing. Like, replays and observer modes are always so good for any game that you want to play competitively.
Yes, you learn so much.
Yep. And it makes it's just how you share that information. You know, you go watch a cool
Yeah.
replay of a game, or you know, whatever else, or cast one.
Yep.
Yeah, poor old Fluffy.
Pretty epic performance from Fluffy though.
From Auro, you mean? I mean, actually,
And,
honestly, both, right? Fluffy's done a
both,
really
yeah.
good defense, but the strategy is really well thought out. It's very synergetic. It takes advantage of the customization and the settings of the tournament, right? You know, it's playing to the strengths of the faction he's playing with you know, his force marches early, just moving his main unit across the map, keeping in all the patches of forest, even sometimes unnecessarily when there's not necessarily sight, just to keep this a big surprise until it arises. I think this has been very good play from Auro.
Absolutely. And yes, Cesand, you're correct. You cannot introduce a new family via conquest, so you have to settle the site with champs, which means now with that statesman city going down, Fluffy can only settle on one of the sites in the middle, which of course is going to be insanely hard to get to. So he's effectively locked out of champions now.
What happens if Fluffy chops the tile that the zealot is standing on? I know for like a regular scout, it's not going to immediately
get
reveal.
bumped. It will get bumped to another tile and stay invisible.
Okay, so it's not like I never know which one it does anymore. Like sometimes I get like scouts now did this thing where they're like invisible on tiles they're not supposed to be invisible on for like a duration.
5 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not
I
the
think
same
that's
with
just
the revealed
scouts.
ones.
I think it'll bump it to another forest. I'm not actually sure. That interaction has changed lately, and I haven't played bump a tactician around, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And interestingly, with this settle now, he has a sea connection to this city.
Renewal. Welcome back.
Yeah. Why are these cities not connected? Are they? Oh man, he just needs like a road or two from Carthage to actually make everything connected.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose Fluffy's lucky here in a sense that these top cities are a little further apart, as far apart as they are. Because if this was a perfect water connection, this would be.
It did get bumped. He did chop that, and now it is hidden. And if you hover over it, says 5 years. So
yeah, so it is the new scout rules.
Yeah, it is new scout rules, and he will be revealed in 5 years on a non-forest tile.
Yeah, although 5 years is a very long time.
And yes.
And for our military units, like it's not like Fluffy can capitalize on this. His units will move through this, right?
Well, the way he's positioned his units and the way that got bumped, he's actually probably going to have. Auro's probably going to have to force march to get that out safely.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, Fluffy has no knowledge that this unit got bumped to that tile as opposed to any of the others.
No, he does.
Right?
He does not know exactly where it got bumped. Correct.
So. And is it just an adjacent tile? You don't know.
Usually it's an adjacent tile, but yeah, I'm surprised it didn't go to a forest tile, but I guess there were no eligible forest tiles, so it went to because there were units on them. So yeah, the bumping rules can be a little obscure here.
Yep.
But yeah, we've got warrior, slinger, worker, warrior, settler. But I guess Carthage is going to settle the south city side as well.
But let's look at this for a second, right? I mean, these are what, 10? These are 8, 10? What is it? It's 8. So these are 8 training point cities from a trader, a patron capital, and a cleric capital, right? So he's got 16 training worth of military coming out per turn of the tier 1 military units, right?
Yeah, first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and soon to be 7, 8 also. Although the riders are better, so yeah, around 60 training coming out from Carthage. So it's just not feasible at this point. I think this is. I would be shocked if Fluffy is able to turn around from this. In fact, if you look at the training graph, Fluffy was actually ahead in training until around turn 23.
Yeah. You know what he's doing here. You should be thanking him. Is he's currently protecting your record of shortest game in the tournament.
Indeed. And that was also with Carthage, where I just upgraded units and expanded towards my opponent and said, hello, I have 3 6 strength units.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do with 3?
Chat says Carthage power is amplified in a duel specifically. Yeah, I think it.
Yeah.
I don't think a duel specifically, because I think it's strong in 2v2 as well. It's just they're very early game strong bonuses. Like creating military out of gold is just strong. Reducing the military you have to clear to get a site is strong, and getting civics on settle is very strong. And their starting techs are very convenient for what they're trying to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Presume he's going to settle that last city site in the south. I would have liked to see him buy some of these Scythians, honestly, and upgrade them. He does have vision of them. He doesn't have training, I guess. Maybe that's why, because he's pouring all his training into getting more units. But I feel like a 6 strength unit could go a long way, especially when your opponent doesn't have a champions family.
Slavery is so good here for him. The number of city sites he's
Yes.
placed out, and this really offsets a lot of his lack of workers that I would have liked to have seen. You know, this ore
Yep.
is not online. This marble's not online. This was his second city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No improvements in a second city. I would like to have seen a worker at some point in that. But
Yeah, I like squeezing in a worker after your first military unit in the rider seat, but he's just been producing. Yeah, he never built a worker in that city.
yeah, and you know what this feedback will do? It will make the game for the winner of Claws or Purple Bull Moose. They will get to see the upgraded version of this strategy potentially.
Yes.
So maybe they'll see the
yes.
one where he gets the worker and see how that feels. So
Yeah, absolutely.
so let me ask this, Alcaras. You're still in this tournament, right?
Yeah, I am.
Alcaras, sorry, I sometimes put the emphasis on the wrong parts of that word. What are you gonna do now? So let's say your opponent picks Carthage, and you suspect maybe you meet their scouts and you see tactician. What's your plan? How are you countering
Probably
this?
open Assyria and then maybe just open with a champion seat, just found champions as Assyria, and then potentially go tactician myself out of insurance.
Well,
Especially
you
if my
can't see. Do they
Well,
pick
I
leaders? Do
know
they announce leaders, or do you have to meet them to see leaders?
I'll have to meet them to see leaders, but I
Okay.
can just
You're gonna guess.
proactively
I
pick
see.
tactician just as like if I want to be safe against this, I found champions as tactician.
Okay.
Then it comes down to who stuns first, and
Okay.
then of course champions will melt those units, and then I just fast clear towards my opponent. And
So you're still gonna try to clear. You're not gonna rush across in
yeah,
comparison.
no.
Okay. And
No,
when you meet
because
them and you find out they are schemer and have been
yeah,
econing during this, then what happens? What's the next follow up?
I mean, I think then like if they're Carthage, my champion units should melt through their
Okay.
like I will have superior military production, and their mercs will not be useful to
Yeah.
them because I have champions. So even if it's a 6 strength merc, that's like a 4 strength unit versus me. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I want to see. I want to see the rush defended.
And
the
with
gambit
Sentinel,
failed.
especially as a hunter as well, I think you'd go champ hunter patron or maybe champ hunter cleric, so you can get early rams.
That was my pick versus Carthage when Auro did this to me as well as
Yeah.
Assyria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer playing the Carthage side of this, but
Yeah, it feels
I
like
don't
a
know.
lot of the cards are in your favor. The other thing I suppose you're going to do is if it's whoever picks Civ first doesn't pick map, right? So suppose versus Carthage, you want to pick largest size probably versus Carthage. They do
So,
clear
yes.
and settle a little faster, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time,
Yeah. So one important thing, Fluffy got an event from a mercenary that gave him an archer. That's where that archer came from in his capital. He got a
very strong
mercenary
here.
archer. It was 300 gold to buy, and he did get that. So that, as Aaron points out in chat, that was a mercenary archer.
And that's what 80 training worth of unit compared to the 60 of like a warrior.
Yes,
and
it is also a
strength.
5 strength unit. So so that's huge. So he may be able to turn this around here. We'll see.
You're an optimistic caster.
It is
turn
Fluffy.
this around. Yeah. Okay.
It is Fluffy.
You let me know when that
so
turns
yeah.
around. You tell me the moment it flips. You think it's here?
I mean, the archer definitely helps. So, I mean, I have fought Fluffy 10 or 15, 20 times at this point. I have 1 victory to my name. So
really, you're 1 in 19 to Fluffy?
something like that.
No way.
Yes, I've only beat him once.
That's unbelievable to me.
That's why I'm not counting him out. So
he's an excellent player, but like that ratio for you?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's possible you're getting worse every time you play, and like I have like yeah. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, no, there's only 1 win against him, only 1 win against Frederick, only 1 win against Scientific. So
okay.
But I haven't played them as much as I play Fluffy. So maybe it's not 1 in 19, but 1 in 10 or something. So
yeah, he's an excellent player. This is one of the reasons why I've been very excited about this this match. 2 good players.
Yeah, he tends to attack me before I'm ready for him to attack me.
Well, you know what this is going to teach Fluffy? His aggression has been coming too late recently.
Exactly. Yeah, because it definitely probably feels odd for him to be like attacked before he's ready to be attacked.
Yeah, and he doesn't want that to happen again. He just has to preempt that in the future.
He's getting steel, so he's trying to get to 5 strength units that way.
Finally,
also,
some
Carthage
ore.
is getting steel. Yeah, we do see an upgrade or that thing, and then or the improvement on the ore. yeah, just dominant position for Carthage here, 6 cities to 2. Yeah, I'd probably give Fluffy like a 5 to 10% chance of winning this game at this point. Not completely out, but like the odds are
I
very
wish to
ungood.
gamble with you more often. If you want to put 10% on Fluffy winning this, I think
And
I
I
make
think
money
the
off you if this is the logic you're using.
and to your point, he is now starting to upgrade those barbs in that city, and even the skirmisher is visible thanks to Tactician. And of course, a lot of this is up to the map, right? Like if we didn't have these forests here, they wouldn't be invisible. If this was a more deserty or open map, but he's
Some of it. I
gotten
don't think the strategy itself
not all of
comes
it.
down to
Yeah,
that. And again, I don't think I like the strategy Auro has put forth here as a synergistic, rehearsed strategy that catches people by surprise. And this is like when you watch other games like best of 7 series or something, they often
yeah,
throw in a couple kind of cheese strats, like strats
yep,
that are very one dimensional but are designed to keep your opponent having to react to a number of different strategies as opposed to the same game again and again and again. So I like seeing this come out as a one of, or
Ooh,
well, that's
earthquake.
a very interesting earthquake.
Yeah, the wrath of the gods.
Just taxes Carthage like
Actually,
5 orders.
mostly hits Carthage. Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Fluffy has countered this earthquake by refusing to put any improvements on land. So well done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, I think next, I mean, this strategy works well once, and then of course
Well,
next time anyone faces Oro, they'll be like, okay, I know what I need to be open to. But to your point, he can of course do a different strategy, and then like I'm here ready for your tactician rush, and you just went eco schemer on me, and you have 10 cities on your side of the map, and I'm like
yeah.
waiting for your rush. So
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that develops as it gets played, as this gets duplicated in other people's games or versions of it, and how it plays out on a regular. Because as you were saying, the map did matter, and it has certainly right outside Fluffy's capital been a kind of a pain to attack all these range units hiding in invisibility in forests. And Fluffy made the decision to go south instead of east, and the champion seat, blah blah blah, all this stuff. But at the same time, the core part of the strategy, rushing across the map, hiding. Being hidden until you basically get that first engage, seems pretty doable on almost any map. There's going to be a couple patches of forest somewhere. It doesn't have to be a heavy forest
yeah,
for that to still work. If you get that first
yep,
unit and then you can get enough cities behind it with a little bit better econ than Aura has showed this game, I think that's a pretty
yeah,
dominant
no,
opening.
that absolutely, yeah. I mean, the tactician's done plus the merc buy, which gets you orders, gets you units out of thin air. And indeed, Oro is going in here. This is for the kill.
This is very aggressive. I like it. I just think this city is so strong, having his place to upgrade his units, to heal back
Yeah.
in, to retreat to it's just so strong to have this here. This is not a good spot when you're this close to your capital.
Yeah, he's got 2 orders left, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to kill that unit. Yeah, he's out of orders, but yeah, where can what? Yeah, this feels like it's the end.
Yeah, we'll see.
The unit can't really run away anymore.
No, there's no more.
Definitely,
Yeah, cities can't run.
he definitely doesn't want to move his archer out to get stunned because can't have that. So
Nope. What promotions does this have? Does have a warden promotion available, although no time, no training to use it, and no time to get that going.
yeah. What I mean, realistically, I think at this point, if I'm Fluffy, I just start attacking with that warrior. I don't think I can save it, right? I think I just do some damage with it and take out a unit.
Dude, the peak of
Problem
this
is,
military graph, turn 21, Carthage, 400 military score, Fluffy, 80.
yeah, and I think we did some stat analysis. The average mill score on turn 30 is 300 across the tournament. So that's just the power of Carthage there. Orators can do this as well. So any nation can do it because you can turn legitimacy into unit pickups. But of course, you won't have the tactician stun.
Yeah, and you don't have there's other downsides with that, right? Which is that
Yeah, you're tanking your legitimacy.
yeah,
So,
with tanking orders to do that, and then you don't utilize your gold as efficiently. The nice part
yes,
about this is the synergy pieces coming together, right? The extra gold
absolutely.
from the trader capital,
Yeah.
from Carthage, etc. Yeah.
No, I
Even
mean, I told
Riders is
myself,
useful here with 2 more orders, right? For this
yeah,
because it's very
and the
unit
extra
heavy.
scout,
Yeah.
and the extra scout early, and the orders, yeah, and connect it anywhere, so you can. Yeah, I mean, I think I told myself going to this tournament I was going to play Carthage because I thought they were the most broken civ, and I was going to keep playing them until someone beat me with them.
Yep.
Or it's just because I was like, for me, the biggest thing actually for them is the 200 civics on city founding because there's so many civics.
Exactly. So many good things
Like
there.
Like long term, boom, suddenly you have 10 cities. Congrats, you have 1,000.
And you have a science law to start with. Like
Yeah,
that, the
yeah,
civics
yeah,
is
yeah.
not. It's not like it's just for rushing. It's like
Yeah.
that early law is immediately available and immediately useful.
Yeah, you get a huge science lead. You can assault Mary early, governor early. Like you're just, it feels free in a way that, and of course you have statesmen as well for another 400 civics unfound. So,
Yep,
like civics is probably the most valuable resource in the game, I would say. Like,
probably. Yeah, I think it's interesting. And again, it doesn't have to be a tactician rush every single time. Like
no, it
just
doesn't.
like a schemer Carthage is really strong too. You know, that offsets your order, offsets the number of units you're going to have as Carthage by giving you a way to utilize all those units while still giving you a huge science boost. You maybe aren't quite as aggressive as you're able to be with the tactician, but you still have a strong econ game as Carthage because you start so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can clear city sites by buying the units pretty much and then just
Yeah,
killing
and
one unit.
that's a double, right? Like you don't have to kill the unit, which is just a small amount of experience and barbs, really, right? So you don't have to kill the
Yep.
unit. You still get the camp value from clearing the camp. You still get the resource boost from that, and then your home bases don't have to spam military units as much as other people's do to keep the clearing going because you're reducing the number
Yep.
of things you have to kill and using units that you appear on the board with as so you can econ. You know, it's a very nice.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see how Carthage deals. He did lose that warrior. And of course, I think Fluffy lost a warrior as well. No, or did that warrior? He did lose a warrior, right?
Yeah, it would be important to know that
Yeah.
if this game were going to be close from here.
He's starting to pillage a little bit as well. Yeah, I mean, I think this point is.
I mean, Fluffy's doing an excellent job of delaying the inevitable, but it does feel
Holding
like
off.
he's delaying the
He's one
inevitable.
faster than 30, so you can concede now, I guess.
That's right.
Uh,
Let him know. Maybe give him the DM. There it goes.
all right,
There it
there
is.
it
He
is.
heard you.
All right, let's see if we can get the players in for a post-game interview. I think would be great to talk to them.
Yeah. Catch Fluffy right at the peak of his enjoyment of this.
Yeah. Let's see here. I might just start a voice call in Discord, or do you want to start it? I think you're in the chat with them as well.
Yeah. All right. I'll drop this call and open that call up.
Okay. Yep.
Interesting game, chat. Interesting game. Nice quick one. Not too much to commentate. I wish I watched the scouts a little bit more. I need to make this call. Huh? Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Exciting game. Gentlemen. Let's I think let's get reactions before we ask any questions. Maybe we start with Fluffy. You want to give us your thoughts and reactions?
Well, I mean, well played. You know, Auro is known for being a defensive player. I was not expecting a tactician rush straight across the map. So, you know, what can you say? Well done.
Thank you. Well played.
Alcaras and I were commenting, Fluffy, as we watched your defense to that. We thought your reaction was really good to something as unexpected as that for you. The immediate responses were really good. How much were you kicking yourself all game for not immediately dropping that champion seat on Second City?
Yeah, that certainly would have been helpful, wouldn't it? I was really hoping to be able to get Russia settler out at some point and found champions before the city site got blocked off. That would have potentially helped as well. Although, to be honest, I think it was probably done as soon as the tactician showed up.
Yeah, that's what we think. Or that's at least what I think too. One of the big questions that I had watching this is, and I want to hear from both of you on this, but I want to start with you, Fluffy, again, is why south to begin with? What was it just not really thinking? Was it terrain? Like what pushed you to the southern spot before going north?
It just seemed like a reasonable direction to go in, I guess. Yeah, you've got to pick a direction, try and work out where you think the most likely site is. Obviously, the free site was to the east, and it looked like there was coast immediately to the north, so I figured the south was the best way to look.
Gotcha. Okay. I want to ask similar questions to Auro in a minute, Alcaras, but do you have anything else for Fluffy real quick?
Yeah, no, I thought you did an amazing job. I believed in you for a very long time. But yeah, it was just really, really, really tough to deal with that.
Aye.
Very well played, though.
Thank you.
Auro, you want to tell us how this went from your perspective?
Yeah, I think I rewatched the commentaries of my first 2 games, and a lot of the feedback that people gave. And there's a quote like, "Don't argue with an idiot. It's like wrestling with a pig in the mud. You can't win, and eventually you realize the pig is enjoying it." And I think like I've been kind of like the pig in my last couple games, where my play has not necessarily been that great, but it's been sort of unexpected and random. And what I heard from Solver made a comment when I was rewatching the stream. I saw his chat where he's like, Fluffy will not let you play this kind of game that you've played against earlier. So I figured, what is the most unexpected thing for me to do, and how can we like get the game into the mud as quickly as possible, knowing that I'm not as good of a economic and tactical player as Fluffy.
That's interesting. I won a Civ tournament doing exactly that, which was it was a 1v1 duel tournament that I wasn't quite as prepared for, as a lot of the players who'd been playing it. I was mostly playing free-for-alls at that time, and that was exactly the strategy I had as well, was don't let the game get to a complicated state, because I'm going to do less well in a complicated state than I am in the simpler early state. And it sounds like you really went for that strategy this time as well, and that paid off.
Yeah, and I think one thing that was important was on the first barb camp clear, I didn't finish the clear with my leader. I left it alive and hired the unit in order to finish the clear, so that I could get my tactician forward as soon as humanly possible and still be kind of continuing like at least I would have 2 sites available to settle if it went wrong, so my econ wouldn't be wrecked.
All right, a couple other questions for you, Auro. Why north as opposed to south with your settlement and scouting pattern in particular?
When I started the game, I saw that there were mountains south, and I knew that I wanted to do this rush, and I didn't want to run into an impassable mountain wall or just get slowed down by them, so that's why I went north.
So you can see the mountains in the fog then?
Outside of your viewable map, you can see mountains in the fog.
Interesting. Correct. So there was information that at least one of you was using to make that decision. I missed the first couple turns in terms of the scout movement, and the way the observer stuff works is, although we can see what you can see, we also see the rest of the map. So sometimes hard to see where your fog is. So I was really curious why both of you went as you did. So it sounds like that was an informed decision playing into your strategy that you went north.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see. Alcaras, anything else question-wise from you?
Definitely an interesting map. Had there been any terrain variation, it was very much a straight shot across the top. You also did a really great job, Auro, of hiding your leader in the trees as you went along. I noticed that, just to avoid taking any damage from the barbs. But yeah, no, just brilliant strategy, well executed, and kept up throughout, and did great follow through as well. Really loved the forced march to settle that site on Tingis, to deny that free city site. That felt like to me the death knell. After that, it was going to be, there was basically no way back.
Yeah, that was brutal. I was really hoping to be able to either catch the tactician off guard or at least push back and get the settler out and get that third city, because yeah, 2 cities are not enough.
No. How many times do you practice the strat in particular, Auro, the direct rush?
Over the last 2 days, I have practiced this strat on local area network against AI probably like 15 times.
Yeah, it felt very practiced to me. So
and
it's
I've
interesting
practiced
hearing that.
with Aaron against like an actual player. So.
Were there any times in those practices where the map just screwed you over?
Yeah, so I thought a lot about map actually, and my original thought was like, my real thinking was if this game is not over by turn 20, I'm probably gonna lose. So my original thinking was I'll pick continents square for map, because you're closer. It's 46 hexes versus 58 for wide. But then I thought, like, psychologically, if you pick square, you're kind of telling Fluffy, like, hey, I'm trying something cage fighty. So that's why I went for wide, and I figured, with a swift leader, an extra, whatever that is, 12 hexes or whatever, is not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, that it definitely worked. I did see the white pick and thought, right, okay, we're not going to do a cage fight. It's fine.
So
My
interesting.
mistake.
I just like how well thought out that is, you know, regardless of whether or not Fluffy bought it, and it sounds like he did here. Like, it's nice that you had such a coherent strategy that you attempted to put into play here. You practiced it, you thought about this, even the psychology of it, let alone the movement mechanics of it. That's really cool. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what else like that people come up with, you know, with the ability to customize the map, the civ, and the traits. What else is going to come out of this? It's kind of cool to see. Um, One more question. Did any of your opponents, it sounds like you played mostly against AI for practicing this strategy, Oro. Have any of your opponents defended this, like live opponents? Forget the AI for a minute. They start with different advantages and whatnot. But have any of the players had a response to this that worked? Or maybe don't share that until after the tournament. Maybe you can just tell me a yes or no with that if you like.
I would say yes in terms of survive. I've only played it against Aaron, and I actually did a similar one against you, as you probably
Yep,
remember.
I do remember.
But it's survivable, but I mean, my honest opinion is that the strat is so strong because even if you screw up the clears, or not the clears, even if you go out there with your tactician and you lose the battle, what's happening in the background is you're just able to use Carthage to just absolutely vacuum like the whole map. So
Yeah.
your map control is just ridiculous. And you can do that even with a terrible Carthage start. Like against the AI, I tried where there's not even one boat, and it's still feasible. So I think, you know, not to give too much away here, but I think if the map that's picked is continent wide or continent square, you got to pick first and you got to take Carthage, and that's the counter in my mind. But I don't know.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out for you in this tournament. And if it, I think, you know, this is multiplayer and this is a tournament, so people are going to play what works. And I'm interested to see if this will be the strategy that comes out on top this time around or not, because it does seem very synergetic and very strong.
Yep.
Two final questions for you, Auro. First, the Scythians. I think you scouted them at one point, and they were the only tribal spot on the map, actually. You didn't end up buying any of them, largely probably because they weren't accessible until you settled that middle city site. Were you worried about no tribes at all visible apart from that? Was that something that was a concern?
You know, when I was sort of gaming out this strategy, I thought about that and I just decided like I need to shut down the whole game to 20 turns, and anything that is not relevant to the first 20 turns, I will ignore. And like beyond a little bit of maybe like, you know, rushing the grocer in the capital or whatever, but so I just decided if I have him stunned within the first 20 turns with his original unit, then I will win. And if I don't, I will lose. And I'll just go 100% at trying to make that happen.
Got it. And then last, final, super important question. Tell us about the thinking behind your leader's portrait.
Portrait and name, actually. This is the famous Roman senator. And I originally picked the horse because I like to play Persia, and my first game was Persia. But it just kind of stuck. So
Gotcha.
Caligula's horse. Excellent.
Yep.
Fluffy give you any anything Fluffy did in particular that you found troublesome? Anything that really kind of give you a moment to sit back and be like, what am I going to do about that? Or
I think once Fluffy had his slingers in his cities, he was tactically outplaying me there for a period of time because I was sitting on the hill where he could hit me, and I didn't think about the fact that I should drop back one until later. But I think it's totally the correct play to sit in the cities until the warrior comes out. And I just knew when he came out to attack me, and it wasn't like a final blow, that it was like a bait for me to attack back, and then the warrior was going to be out next turn. But yeah, I mean, I think he did the best you can possibly do with that situation. It's just that once it gets to that point, it's very, very hard.
well, as an observer and commentator, this was a super fun match to watch. I was looking forward to both you guys are strong players. From my opinion, I was really looking forward to watching this, and I'm really excited, Fluffy, that this was only your first life, that you have your redemption arc from the bottom brackets available to you if you choose to go that route. So
Yes, I can be the terror of the elimination bracket now.
that's right.
Fair enough.
And I want to
Yeah.
see this rematch in the finals. That's what I'm rooting for.
Well, it'd be very interesting to see if Auro, well, A, tries to pull it off again in this next match and B, succeeds. But yeah, good luck to you. That was very well played, very well timed, and thought through. Yeah, kudos on you on all the practice sessions. Obviously paid off. So yeah, well done.
Thank you. Well played, and it's an incredible game, and I love playing it. Thank you.
Super fun one to watch, guys. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing the rest of you guys' matches. Any final thoughts from you, Alcaras?
No, amazingly fun to watch. In fact, the opponent, whoever your next opponents, I guess, or Aura's potential next opponent, Purple Moose and Class, they've just started a couple of minutes ago as well. So there's more Old World action today. Yeah, super excited to see this match, and amazing strategy and execution. Aura was very crisp, as Fluffy said, as Filthy said, just very crisp early on. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you did it.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys. All right, I'm gonna hop off this call.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, chat. I am now off the joint call with that. Can give you guys a little bit of attention. That was a super fun one to watch. What do you guys think? I mean, this was a much more action-packed in terms of viewer. Like, this is a 4X game, and it's it's got a lot of turns to it, and it's turn-based, and it takes a while to get going with things, and a lot of time is econ in the early. So I thought this was an exciting one to watch. But man, I liked the strategy. Like, it was so fun seeing the pieces of a 4X come together in PvP, right? Like player versus player, to see that kind of. I mean, how cool was it that Auro practiced this? It sounded like between 15 and 20 times before putting it into play in the tournament. What a great thing to hear about that. I was just thrilled by hearing that it wasn't blind luck, any of the parts of that, right? The mountains to make him go north as opposed to south. Like, that was one of my big questions the entire game was, did he just get lucky going north? And did Fluffy just get unlucky going south? And the answer was no. And then to hear the mind games about the map size, that was fucking great too, right? Like, not only was it wasn't random that I went the right way and you went the wrong way. Also, your pick, if this was small, Fluffy would never have gone Clerics. And the Clerics decision was probably the only real point of criticism that Alcaras or I could find for Fluffy's gameplay was he went Clerics second and went south. And it turns out both of those things were generated by Auro's strat. Auro, he couldn't have forced Fluffy to go south as a mistake, but he didn't make that same mistake. And he did mind game Fluffy into not going champion's seat first. That's awesome. That's so cool to see the payoffs of the decisions of the players matter. I really like that. It was a really enjoyable one for me. So I don't know. I may cast some more of these. This is probably going to do it for my stream today, unless I end up casting that second game. I'll have to go look at what that's like. But anyways, if you guys like this, maybe we'll try to do a couple more matches for this. I've been really addicted to Old World again. Been enjoying playing it again, and been playing a bunch of multiplayer kind of cloud duels. I don't really like the simul stuff as much as I don't like this playing this on my own. The simul stuff just really doesn't do anything for me. But I do like I like watching them, and certainly I like watching good players trying unique strategies in a game that doesn't have such a deep multiplayer scene in terms of how many games have been played, that we're still seeing these things get innovated and come up with. It's so cool to watch. So, all right, guys, I'm probably going to call it here. Thanks for watching. I'll leave the VOD up, obviously. Maybe I suspect we're going to want this for the tournament somewhere, so maybe I'll get it up to YouTube at some point too. I'll talk to Alcaras a little bit later about what he wants to do with this. I put the links for the brackets in chat. It's on my, I think it's OW brackets. If you want to, and there's some links to that to previous games, but we're getting into a very interesting stage of the tournament. This was round 3. I think this is what, quarterfinals? Although it's double elimination, so we're going to see some more of that. Yeah, and Auro goes on to, so this was the semifinals of the winners bracket, right? No, quarterfinals of the winners bracket. No, so what, 2 more matches? Like, the structure of that. I think we have 2 more matches for winners bracket, and then we have the winner of the losers bracket playing presumably the winner of the winners bracket, right? So we got quite a lot of high level games left, right? Because what is it? The cream's going to rise to the top, right? So we're going to see all the strongest players with the strongest strategies batting heads in a multiplayer game that really hasn't seen all it can see yet. There's a lot of strategies to be discovered still, and a lot of gameplay to experience that's going to be kind of new, and I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways, I might cover some more of them as time goes on, and I'll stop talking now and disappear off. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you around.